So those are kind of examples of the plays where Kirby just kind of took the wrong guy, missed the wrong guy. While looking at these, another reason why he was kind of minus 29 like this is because he also plays with teammates who make these kinds of mistakes. And so that makes just the line a little bit weak when it comes to defensive play. So in this example, this is line A, and at this stage, he's covering his guy, got a guy covering him, everything's good so far. And watch what he does though. He's covering his guy, and then he just lets him go. Leaves him completely alone in front to, I guess, go to the corner, but this guy's already covered. So now we got a guy completely alone in front, and there's a goal. So that's a -1 for Kirby because he was on the ice, kind of up the ice, changing. But it's one of those things where if your teammates have defensive weaknesses and you have some as well, those kind of compound, and you get a lot of negatives. And finally, here's another one. So we have Kirby here, we have Line A here. They're fighting for the puck in the corner. We had 3 guys versus 2. Okay, so we lose this battle. That's not great when you're 3 versus 2, but okay, that's fine. You recover from that. Let's take a look. Okay, so at this stage, what we have is, we have one guy who's covered this way, one guy who's covered this way. So Kirby, who's over here, his job is going to be to cover him, and Line is covering him. We've got to cover here. So everything should be okay. And you see Kirby's actually pointing, and I'm not sure what he's saying. Maybe he's communicating to Line A to try to take this guy. I'm not sure, but this is the one you want to take. He's the one that's the closest. He's the one that's in the best position to score. So should be sticking with him. But watch what happens. He just skates by him and lets him go. While still, now he's pointing at the blue line, I guess. And at the same time, Line A went from over here to over here. So that's not a great defensive path. You usually want to be cutting a lot more this way whenever you're in the zone. When the other team has the puck, you don't want to be kind of near the boards and staying towards the boards. You want to be cutting a little bit more. So that means we now have a guy completely alone in front. Kirby's still pointing this way, and I guess he's heading towards the point, but this is the wrong choice. You already had 2 guys that were up high. You have one that was covering him and one that was going to be able to cover here. So you really don't want to be up here. You got to take this guy. And now this guy's completely alone, gets the puck, and scores. So these are some quick examples of the types of plays that resulted in goals that we can learn from. There were kind of a few categories: the backhand passes that were getting intercepted, sort of not playing hard enough, and then mostly they were kind of positional plays. They're just taking the wrong guy at the wrong time. If you're a Habs fan, you want to see your team improve, send this video to Marty and Kirby. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And let me know in the comments if you want me to do this for another player. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.